Okay, so the ultimate reset is one of those things I know we don't really ever get trained on or talk about. Neil and I have both done it. I've done it 4 times. Neil's done it once.
Once
And
and a half.
once and a half.
Oh no, that makes me nervous.
Okay, so the only, to be honest, the first time I did it, I was really scared. It intimidated the crap out of me. And the only reason I did it was because I figured, you know what, I'm a coach and I have to know the products. I need integrity, and I need to obviously do it to be able to talk about it and experience it. I'm gonna mute you guys. Hang on, let me just go around. So that was literally my only motivation for doing it the first time. I completely embraced the process. So have all of you guys, you're still kind of questioning do it. You're not totally doing it, right? You're still up in the air? You are? Okay. All right. It's one of those programs that have a ton of questions, and I'm actually going to record this, and it's really good because even if you choose not to do it on the 29th when we're starting, you'll get a lot of takeaways, and you can share with your customers that you may know that they totally need this program in the future. Okay. So what the reset is or I guess it's easier to say what it's not. It's not a detox. So a lot of people are going to think, oh, I'm going to eat, I'm going to have stomach cramps. I'm going to be stuck to the bathroom, like these horrible visions of old school type detoxes where you're drinking like cayenne pepper and, all those crazy concoctions. It's designed specifically to be extremely gentle. And there's 3 phases, and each phase is unique in what it does. So like the first phase kind of breaks all the toxins down in your body, and then you release them, and then you build your kind of body back. You put everything back together in a much better way once you've released all the impurities from your body. Really what it's going to do for you guys is scientifically it's going to get rid of a lot of the toxins, a lot of the processed foods, air pollution that gets kind of embedded in your cells and your bloodstream and your muscle tissue. All the different tissues you've got in your body actually harbor different toxins. And what the reset does is it literally goes through your body and breaks those up and gets rid of them. So I want to say that first, because when I describe what you guys can expect in the first week, it'll make sense. Okay. I'll get to the cooking, the cost of the food, and a bunch of the common questions that you guys will have. Okay, so that's kind of what it is. What you can get out of it and what you can expect is, so actually we have all these women on the call. So
yeah, I was going to say, where are all the guys?
This is really good because if you have been pregnant or know someone that's been pregnant, right? When you're pregnant, you can't eat processed foods. You shouldn't have caffeine. You shouldn't have coffee. You shouldn't really take medication. All of those things, right? That's kind of like what the reset is. You want to have just as, you're not supposed to drink. So all these different things that are kind of similar to a pregnancy are the same rules that apply for the reset. So there's no alcohol, which is why he didn't do it the first 3 times. But he did do it the 4th time, and he did not drink alcohol for the entire 3 weeks. You don't really want to work out. You want to have light workout. Hang on, there we go. You want to, so you're not working out. So any programs that you're doing, you want to do a very mild, watered down version of your fitness program. They do emphasize mild, like movement and walking and stuff, but nothing too strenuous because your body literally is going through an internal workout. And even if you try to work out, you'll be tired. So very minimal exercise.
And there's no stimulants. You can't take stimulants to give you that jolt to get you moving again. It's pretty shocking, actually, the feeling of what happens when your body's going through an internal workout. I mean, the first few days, you're absolutely exhausted. And obviously going through your detox, I suppose, isn't it? Coming off your caffeine, and with me, my wine addiction, etc., etc. But carry on, sorry.
And sugar. So that's one of the other things your body's going to be detoxing from because you're not going to have sugar. So even in a perfect world without the reset, if you detoxed off caffeine and sugar, you're going to not feel that great. So embrace that thought, because a lot of how you're going to be feeling in the first few days is just detoxing off that. And then you're adding, of course, the supplements, and all the supplements are completely natural, and they're all designed to balance your body in a way that kind of pulls all the toxins out of your body. Day 1, you guys will feel fine. Days 2, 3, and 4, expect to feel kind of like you have like the flu, where you're achy and sore. You'll have back pain. You'll have, like your whole spinal, column or whatever. You'll be really, really sore. You'll have a headache if you've not detoxed off caffeine. So what I would suggest is starting, say, Saturday or Sunday, or 4 or 5 days before the reset, start cutting your caffeine intake in half. So by the time you start it, you're not going through a massive caffeine withdrawal.
Sounds like fun, doesn't it? This is why it took me like 3 attempts to try. Actually, I didn't even think about attempting it the first 3 times that Shay did it. Actually, if you've seen any of the videos, I completely mock her while she's lying on the floor and like having headaches. And this is the cure-all. It's but once you get through that first couple of days, the transformation in the way you feel it's mind-blowing.
It's like nothing you've ever felt.
It really is. And I say, once I, especially coming off my wine addiction, I mean, after that first 3 days, it was, you get this kind of overwhelming, euphoric kind of feeling where you're just full of energy, full
natural energy.
You go to bed at night, you sleep instantly like
amazing,
like a baby. You wake up in the morning, you jump out of bed. It's like watching some infomercial on TV or something. You're like, wee, let's go. It really is. You feel absolutely amazing. And then it becomes so much easier for the next, 17, 18 days. And by the end of the 3 weeks, the 21 days, I mean, my weight loss was absolutely phenomenal. It really was. It was off the chain. It's not like when you do a refresh, you'll lose a bunch of weight and then 3 days later it's all back on. I mean, what I found with this is 6 months thereafter, my body kept the form that it had achieved over that particular 3 weeks. Plus also the learning curve of the foods and what your body reacts to and how it reacts to it. We actually kept cooking the same, pretty much similar. Obviously, we added back in, all the fun stuff that we actually really like. And but the way we prep our food and the type of foods we ate stayed pretty much similar to what we did on the refresh, because the reset. Sorry, yeah, too many hours. But because we know how our bodies reacted to it, and your bodies react once you've gone through the reset, you know how your body reacts to what you put inside of it.
To dairy and to meat and to certain things.
Yeah, and it just you become so in tune. I mean, I'm a guy. I'm not into any of this stuff. This is the nutritionist here. I'm just a dude that eats pizza and drinks lots of wine. And even I was like, no, I'm not going to touch that tonight. I'm going to eat this. I'm going to drink this and blah, 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 blah. So she said, and there's a bunch of people that want to do the reset starting the 29th. I go, yeah. All right. And built my mindset and like, okay, so my goal is now to drink enough of this over the next 4 days that I've got a constant buzz for the next 21. So,
for those of you calling in, he's holding his glass of wine. So you really do. You feel amazing. And I would just say, when people start the reset, you've got to almost expect the worst in those first few days. And once it passes, you sleep better. So many people have had different issues resolve. And one of the biggest success stories, I was telling Lindsay, I think, in Cancun, one of my diamond coaches, Shelly Shane, she had 120-pound weight loss, and she had an asthma attack at one point, and she had the ringing in her ears. What's that?
Tinnitus.
Yeah. For like 6 or 7 months. She saw 10 different doctors, and nobody could get this ringing to go away. And she literally was like, some people commit suicide over it because it's why you're asleep. It's why you're on the phone. It's constant. Nobody could figure out why she had it. I shared with her other reasons why she should do the reset, just from her weight loss and this and that. She called me on day 4 and it went away. And what is so amazing is when you give your body the chance to like really purify itself and take everything out that is slowing it down, it gives it a really good opportunity to start healing itself. And I don't know if you guys had a chance to look at some of the testimonies that I posted, but They're all from my customers, and they're amazing. This program, as much as I love Shakeology, totally trumps Shakeology. Hand on heart, it is amazing. And here he's done it and he's doing it again. So, you know, you stick through it. It's like pregnancy again. You go through those 9 months and you're like, I never want to do this again when you're in it. And then, you know, a year later, you're like, oh, I want to have another baby. You miss the feeling that you have while you're on the reset. And it completely will change the way you eat foods and see that you have behaviors around foods forever. Hands down. So I'm going to address some of the questions that I usually get. So one of them is, no, you're not going to be on the potty all the time. You can drink. So weeks 2 and weeks 3, you'll be completely vegan. So you're not going to have dairy. You're not going to have meat, no animal products whatsoever. If you're going to drink Shakeology, you want to order the vegan Shakeology with your Ultimate Reset. And there's recipes in the book on how you can make your vegan Shakeology. One of the things that I learned was, for me, it wasn't so much about drinking coffee in the morning or having wine at night. It was the behavior and the ritual of doing it. So even if you have hot tea that doesn't have caffeine or sugar in it, to me, that ended up being like your taste buds enhance, didn't it? Like you would eat fruit and they would taste like candy because your taste buds are so much more heightened. But I found it wasn't so much about the coffee or the wine. It was just the behavior and the ritual for that time of day and having something warm or having a glass. So if you're doing it, you're going to go through Cinco de Mayo and we'll make like a little reset mocktail for the habitual people that want that glass on the holiday. But anyway, I just wanted to share kind of, for me, a lot of it was about the behaviors that I have around food. Cost for the food, a lot of it depends. I mean, if all of you guys are Beachbody coaches, you probably have a lot of like apple cider vinegar. You probably have a lot of the staples in your house already. So it's not going to cost as much. But you are going to want to go to Whole Foods or Trader Joe's or somewhere and buy in bulk and buy all organic. I found that I spent more on the reset, but I saved because I wasn't going out to eat. I wasn't buying food on the road. And so and we weren't drinking. And so a lot of the extracurricular stuff around the reset, it ended up being a wash. If not, I think we actually saved money. I mean, that was what I noticed when it came to the checks and balances time. As far as the time for food prep, I kind of laugh because you're not exercising, but I joke about the exercises in the kitchen because you'll spend a lot of time making everything from scratch. And if you guys do the reset, I will do a call. I'm committed to do a call a couple days before each phase, and I'll tell you what things you don't want to buy, what recipes to skip, which ones you can duplicate. And that would be my tip, because some recipes you can swap out within that same week and just make double or triple and eat the same thing, so you're not cooking all the time. So there's a lot of little tricks and stuff that work. Neil had mentioned this about gaining the weight back. The reason why you don't really gain the weight back is because this whole thing's not based on calories. You'll not be starving. It'll be more food. It's kind of like
ever eaten. It really is.
So much food.
You'll
and
sit there with a big bowl of stuff in front of you, like, I can't eat all that. And I mean, I'm a big guy. I couldn't eat the quantity of food that my body type told me I needed to eat. There was just so much food. Really was.
Yeah.
I'll never be hungry.
Yeah. And that's why you don't gain the weight back, because unlike the refresh where it's so few calories, so the minute you go back to eating normal calories, you gain it back. This isn't like that. And you'll learn so many recipes you'll be able to take to friends' houses. Then they're like, oh my God, this is so good. From a sales standpoint, and you're like, yeah, this is from our cleanse or our detox. And they'll be like, are you kidding me? This is delicious. So that's a really good tip too. Okay. Let's see. Some of this stuff I can, okay. As far as if you're concerned, if you're really, really into fitness, and you're concerned about not working out, in the test groups they actually had an arm of professional athletes in the test group, and they did a baseline on how much weight these guys could do before the reset. They did the reset, and then they took a week off after, just to like wean their body back into it. So 4 weeks literally of not working out. Then they saw how many weights they could lift, same amount, like same exercises. They were able to lift more weights, ironically, after the reset than they were before, which is kind of counterintuitive. You would think that they'd be weaker. So the theory that the scientists came up with possibly was that because the body has been stripped of so many toxins that it fights against, it actually is able to perform better because your body's literally completely cleaned out. So
on that thing, don't expect, if any guys are doing, don't expect to be able to go lift what you would normally lift halfway through the reset, because your body's going through an internal workout. Your energy is being exuded by working out from the inside out. And I tested that theory, and it's, you're not going to have the energy to do what you would normally do. So don't do it. Wait until the end. Let your body do what it's supposed to do from the inside out.
Yeah. So you'll get 5 or 6 different supplements. You'll take them 3 times a day. You do not want to miss them, so take them with you. You'll pre-make all of your food. If you guys have those six-pack bags, those are awesome to take your food and just have it with you. We went to the movie theater. I mean, we've done so many holidays because I've done this 4 times now that you just get used to just taking your food everywhere. But that will kind of be your life for the next 3 weeks. But I'm going to tell you guys, it's 21 days. You guys can do anything for 21 days. You really can. And you will do your body a world of good. So I don't want to scare you, but my first time I did the reset, I think the first time sometimes the hardest in those first few days because you never really stripped your body of toxins. I had really, really bad backache, like horrible backache. And I noticed on day 3, I had a lot of aches in my kidneys. And here's the irony. After like 2 days of being really uncomfortable and then the pain kind of isolating in my kidneys, once I went to the bathroom, literally all the pain went away. And so from a physiological standpoint, medical standpoint, this is how your body works. So a lot of the supplements are going to work their way through your muscle fibers and your whole, all your organs. The very last place before you get rid of something that it holds is your kidneys. And so my thinking was, because it was like my body had like literally scrub brushed through everything and it was in my kidneys. And once I went to the bathroom this one last time, it was like I got rid of all the toxins that were in my body. Because literally the next day, I woke up and I felt amazing. And you think about how many of us walk around with all these toxins in our body all the time. These is totally something you guys should do once a year. It's spring cleaning for the inside of your body. Katie Ursa was the one that kind of inspired us to start the reset next week. So those of you that know Katie, I don't know if you're on the call or not, but she went through chemotherapy and she had her port taken out this week. And the thing with chemotherapy is it can stay in your body up to a year after you've done with your treatments. And so her motivations to do the reset to get and hopefully extract any of the last bit of chemo that may be lingering in her body. And if anything would do it, it would possibly be the reset. So that's her motivation for doing the reset. So when she had mentioned to me last week, her desire, I was like completely on board to do it. So that's why we're going to start it on Wednesday. And, but it's really something that all of you guys should do. So I'm going to stop talking and you guys can ask some questions.
What I will say right quick before you unmute everyone, if any of your guys are going to want to do this, it's obviously a whole lot easier if both people are on board at the same time, because, one's not cooking pizza and one's eating kale.
Good point.
Can kind of mess things up, especially if it's someone like me, like, hey baby, ooh, like this cute role. No, it's better if both people are on board at the same time. And I'm going to get with Nick, because me and Nick are going to start a little Voxer or Facebook sort of group for the guys. It'll probably be a little bit more crude than what the girls one is, but if any of your guys want to do the same thing, then just join us and we'll go through our thing. We take pictures of our poops and all that sort of stuff and just make sure that we're all on board. And not,
oh God. Sorry if this is the first
but
time.
that's what's going to happen. So it's like, I'm glad Nick is doing this with me, because, it's not the easiest thing. The first few days are not the easiest thing, especially when like me and Nick, you want to bounce off each other and encourage each other. And if any of you guys want to do it as well, we can all bounce off each other and encourage each other and just hold each other accountable for the 21 days of what it actually is. And then we all get together and we go and blow out at the end of it.
So what I would suggest too, like Judy, for example. Judy lives near me, but if you guys have anybody that there's Nick, if you have anybody that lives near you, you can and they want to do the reset, you guys can like delegate meals between the two of you. Like, okay, I'll do Mondays, you do Tuesdays, and that will totally cut the time down as well, like the cooking time and all of that. So if you do have friends in your neighborhood or coaches that live nearby, that would be a great suggestion. All right, if you guys have questions, just unmute yourself.
You wish you had a mute button on me.
What's with the drinking the distilled water?
So the distilled water has absolutely no minerals in it whatsoever. And then you're going to take the mineralized and add it to the distilled water. So they want the water just the way it needs to be for the reset. So if you buy RO water or something else, it still has minerals in it. So distilled's literally like completely mineral free, so that you can add the reset minerals.
They want it.
Okay. And you'll maybe give us some ideas as far as that first week, since we're starting on Wednesday, what meals are.
Yeah, so those of you that are definitely committed to starting on Wednesday, and if you order your reset today, you should have it in time. If not, you could start Thursday. But yeah, I'll do a call and give you, like, we'll go through the book and I'll say, okay, because here's the book here, and I'll tell you, this meal you can duplicate. This one's great. This one don't bother with. The water, don't drink it in like buy the gallons, and you'll drink 1 gallon a day, and then you just take a quarter of a teaspoon of the supplement and put it in the whole gallon.
Okay.
And just drink that way, because it's too difficult to do it the other way. So I'll show you little tips like that.
After the first couple of days, it actually becomes really easy, because you know what sort of, you know your routine. You got to take this alkalize at this point, detox at this point, blah 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 at this point, and it becomes really easy after like the second or third day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know if you guys have seen the Alkalize, that's the wheatgrass. It's the really green, grassy looking one.
That tastes great.
What that does is it balances the pH. So a lot of foods, meats, dairy, soda, alcohol, coffee, they're all very acidic. So a lot of us, actually, when you talk about a pH, we all are internal environment's way too acidic for the foods that we eat. Processed foods, French fries, they're all very acidic. And you want to get it more alkaline. You want it balanced. And so the problem with an acidic environment is it can cause cancer, it causes disease, it breaks down your immune system, stuff like that. So you want to move your body towards a more alkalized state, and that's what the green stuff does.
And actually, in all fairness, that green stuff, after you've done the reset, and we still do it now, we'll add 2 or 3 times a week. We add it to the Shakeology, because it is so good for you. It really is, and you can't taste it in the Shakeology.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also read with the capsules, you wait 30 minutes usually before you have your meal. So my husband's doing it with me. Now, say he takes them before his lunch and then he gets pulled into a meeting. Is it okay if it's like an hour and a half until he gets his meal?
Yeah, what I would do is not plan it around the meal. I would actually reverse it and plan it since the last time you ate.
Okay.
Because then it won't matter. And I used my iPhone, and so if I took you take capsules 3 times a day. If I took my morning capsules, boom, and it was 8 o'clock, I'd set my alarm for 2.5 hours later when I knew I could take my next one. And then that way I didn't really plan it around the food. I planned it on when my body was okay to have the next dose.
He's doing the reset too, because he needs it.
Weight loss is one of those things that is an added benefit, and some of it is, you're going to get rid of a lot of toxins in your body, but you will lose. The first time I did it, I was 122 pounds. I did not have weight to lose. I ended the reset at 110, which was less than I weighed in high school. And and you eat a lot. I didn't even try to lose weight. I was shocked at how the weight came off. If you have weight to lose, I've had Lisa Schultz, she lost like 30 pounds. It's unbelievable. It really is. And so for customers, those of you that are coaches, where I leverage the reset is if your customers are obese and just the thought of working out is just too overwhelming for them, this is the best way to give them results quick, where they'll lose 30 pounds and have a success, and they will learn so much about food and the right way to eat doing the reset. I'll also do it for people who, if they can't work out, if people are stuck at a plateau, this is amazing. This will break right through the plateau, which is why I had my coach Shelly do it that had the ear problem. She was stuck at a plateau. So there's different ways you want to leverage this for the right people, but it's one of those things you guys definitely should do at least once a year. Any other questions? No.
No. Thank you.
Let me see if I've got any, the food, you'll have a salad every day. That I would just eat the salad every single day. Like, you'll have other options to mix it up, but just for the sake of time, especially if you guys work, I would just duplicate the salad every single day. And it's really good. Got a lot of different stuff. You guys are going to eat stuff you've never even heard of. And that's really cool. A lot of really good stuff. Okay, so that is it. So if you guys have any other questions, you can post them in the group if you're in the group, or private message me. But I really hope you guys decide to do it. If you don't do it next week, definitely do it. The benefit to next week is we're all going to be in a group together. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'll do weekly calls for the food prep, so you'll have a lot of support and a lot of good tips. So that's all I got. You guys have a great Thursday evening.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Take care.
Bye.